Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about, do you have enough startup capital? This is frequently asked question week.
I like this one.
I do too, because the answer is yes.
Right. People think, do you have some? Then yes.
Before we get into it, though, we'll take a question. We'll take a question posted. Jill has this answer to this question memorized, and she just started down that path. So we'll save it for after the question.
Okay.
And then I have a lot of snarky stuff to say.
You always do.
I know. Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Amy asks, a potential buyer doesn't have legal documents to get a loan, and she will provide the down payment in cash. Oh, wait. Can we back up there? I'm sorry.
She means legal documents as a citizen.
Oh, that's what I meant. I'm like, well, did she lose the paperwork on the way to the bank? Okay, thank you. I was confused by that. All right. But she does have cash to do a down payment. All right. My website claims that there are no qualifications for seller financing, but I'm kind of worried about the legal issues if she's unable to meet the note requirements. Now I'm wondering about the potential problems I may be taking on if she doesn't have the proper documentation. What do you think? I don't really worry about that stuff. Wait a minute.
So the right girl for
Do you really? Let me back up here. Let me just, because this myth comes up often, that people think that you have to be a citizen of the United States to own property in the United States. That is absolutely not true.
She's right.
I can be a citizen of India. I can be a citizen of Italy. I can be a citizen of Indonesia. I picked all the I's, the little theme there. So it doesn't matter. You can own property here. So what legal documents are you looking for? I'm not looking for any. So number one. And number two is, I really don't worry about it. If someone can provide the down payment that I ask, and they're going to start making payments on it, fine. I'm still going to have them sign my documents, and in my documents, I'm going to clearly state that this deposit is non-refundable. If you stop paying on the property,
as you do, as all these documents that we do, regardless of citizenship,
right. Regardless of anything, it doesn't matter who you are or what you have, paperwork you have.
It's a good question, though. Actually,
yeah. I like to have it. It's a nice thing, but I'm still not going to let it hold up the deal. If they're not willing to pay the deposit, maybe they have something that can prove that, hey, I have an income, I have a job, here's paychecks, whatever. If you want to go that route, that's fine, just to show that they could pay for it, because that's really all you really want to do is make sure that this person can follow through, because you're going to pull it off the market now after they make the deposit, make the down payment. So that's it. And like I said, so now they're going to sign all these paperwork showing that I agree to your terms. I know that if I stop paying for any reason, you could take the property back. So now I'm comfortable with the transaction. And then another note is, I want to say, if this person, how do I say this? They might be so darn happy that you took them on, and they don't have quote unquote legal documents, for whatever that you're asking for.
Talk about
to
loyalty.
Own this property. Yeah, they're going to pay this thing off and not want to miss a beat. I mean, they're giving you their hard-earned money to own this property, and they're just hoping that you're not going to, whatever, collect on them, or if they miss one. So they're going to really try. So I think it's a good situation.
I can't add anything to that.
Thanks.
I mean, I would run to process this.
Right. So yeah, so they have some legal documents. They have something, even if it's from another country. That counts. So maybe we're looking at this wrong. I mean,
what's the worst thing that could happen? They make the down payment, they make 6 or 7 or 10 payments, and you just never hear from them again, which happens often, regardless of where they're from or who they are.
You're not going to chase them.
So that's how you need to look at this. Don't forget about the other stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a good question. I think actually we've never talked about it, and I think that I can remember. It's a great question, but I would actually look at this thing as a way positive, not a negative.
Exactly. Thanks.
Today's topic: do you have the startup capital to start buying and selling land? This is the meat of the show. And my shorter answer is yes. Jill's answer is
probably.
if you have zero capital, then that's a problem. And I mean zero, where you're trying to scramble to pay your electric bill and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
But
if you're chugging along in life and your bills are getting paid and you're saving a little bit of money, like most of us, and you're just not satisfied with your job or whatever else, and you want to try something new, the answer is probably. It would help to have Jill. I've heard Jill answer this a million times on the phone while I'm walking, passing her office in the hallway, and she recommends $5,000, right?
There's so many ways to look at this, depending how you want to go at it. So usually, to be realistic, to be really successful, I'd like you to have $5,000 to $10,000 in the bank. And then I know you're not sweating it. I know you could afford the education. I know you can afford sending out mail. I know you can afford downloading data. I know you can afford, buying the property, things like that. So that's a kind of a good rule of thumb. Have I seen people do it with less? Heck yeah. And if people come at it with more, oh yeah. It's funny when I love, I've talked to those people here's what's so funny. So I've talked to people of all kinds of extremes. Some people say, I only have $10,000. Can I really do this?
Yeah. And
I have also had people say, I only have $100,000. Can I do this? So, because they're thinking like house numbers, the person with $100,000 here in Southern California knows they can't buy a house for cash. But in other places you can.
In Kansas you can.
Right.
In Arizona you can.
Exactly. And as far as in rural vacant land all over the country, heck yeah. You can buy some great properties.
Major.
Buy some $10,000, $20,000 properties and sell them for $50,000. Those are my favorites.
Spent $40,000 on a property and sold it for $400,000. Yeah. Does that happen every single time? No way. Not even every year.
Right.
But it happens.
Exactly.
You're setting yourself up to walk down the path of doing that for sure.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So this is one of those questions, I think. It's a good question and you should actually be thinking about it, but don't let it stop you, because there's this group with the group of people that we have now. No good acquisition is going to go to waste.
That's true.
We're not going to let that deal that I just described. Right. We get calls every week from our members that say, "Look, I just stumbled on this transaction. I know we can make $150,000, but I don't have a mechanism. I don't have the money to tie it to control the deal."
Right.
And we send them to different places, different members. We all the house transactions that Jill and I do for House Academy are not all of them, but 50% of them are funded from our external sources just to prove our point. Mm-hmm. So, because it allows us to do more deals. Believe it or not, the money that we've allocated for acquisitions, we run out of that all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we're, looking down on everybody saying, well, we don't have that problem, but here's how you solve it for yourself. That's not the case at all.
Right.
If you're good at this, you're always going to run out of money. And then you're going to sell a bunch of property and you're going to have too much money. It goes like this.
Uh-huh.
So it's never even like you think.
Right.
And this is a great question, and you have to have a little bit of money just to buy and sell those first 10 properties to practice to see if you want to do it. Mm-hmm. We just started and it's not live yet, a company called Land Crowdfund, where members of our group, it's closed to the group only for legal reasons, and SCC reasons, where members of our group fund other members who don't have the cash, and you put it up there on the internet. It brings what we've been doing for many, many years anyway, being private investors with each other. It brings us to the internet, so it makes it easier. Theoretically, I don't know. We're going to find out. It might blow up in our face. We'll see.
It's been happening behind the scenes already. So
you even asked that question, you're already in the right spot, in my opinion. And then Jill's advice about if you really don't have $5,000, just wait 5 or 6 months and save the money.
Save it up, because my whole thing is you don't want to come in this with the sweating it, going, I just borrowed this money, I just took out this whatever, I gotta come up with some cash in 30 days or less. You don't want to be sweating it.
Yeah.
You want to come in, relax, cool, and ready to kill it and do it right and methodically, and then you'll be so much more ahead.
Yes, exactly. You want to learn correctly, and I don't know. Did you ever take a college class? I started down the path of getting a master's degree, and I had a full-time job, and my head just wasn't in it. All I did was waste money.
Right.
You don't want that. You want to be able to focus on it and finish it.
I'm sorry.
I worked out for the best, actually.
It's true.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 minutes listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time, where we discuss Is learning the guitar possible for you? What the heck is he talking about?
This will be funny. And we answer your questions posted on landinvestors.com. It is our own online community, and it's free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I just saw something really funny on social media. I think Seth posted it. I think I'm going to share it on mine. And it's a really cool Ferrari, and his license plate says 2.7 GPA. That's good. I really like that. The only thing is, I don't want the kids to see it and say, well, then it's okay, right?
Well,
Hold on a moment.
Unfortunately, in general, those times are gone.
Right.
But if you have the choice, grades come to easy. Well, yeah, I'm not even going to finish that. Good grades.
Exactly. Yeah, for all you kids listening in the car, your parents are torturing you right now and making you listen to this on the ride home from school. Get good grades.
You know that old saying that A students learn from the B. Oh, the A students teach the B students who work for the C students.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that is.
I think that's awesome. Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or YouTube, wherever you are watching or listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.